Good afternoon. I am Andrea Chisholm with the Midday News. Special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. A reminder as well that you can download our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1 followed by the word Spot and Media. The National Security Ministry has issued a third demand letter for the $42 million performance bond under our contract with O'Brien's International Car Sales and Rental. The extended deadline to pay over the money expired on Friday, January 22. Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee PAAC was given an update through a letter from the National Security Ministry. PAAC Chairman Dr. Wickham McNeil read from the letter at yesterday's sitting.
Please note that as at 3 p.m. on January the 22nd, the Ministry was still not in receipt of the payment of the performance bond. A third demand letter has been written to the supplier's attorney. Recall that the Attorney General's Chambers has been asked to take conduct of the matter.
Over a year after receiving a $427 million contract and half of the money, O'Brien's has not delivered the 200 used vehicles for the police. This forced the ministry to terminate the contract in part and call on the performance bond. Daniel Spencer, the father of former Member of Parliament Kern Spencer, was shot at his house in Balaclava, St. Elizabeth on Wednesday night. The 70-year-old businessman sustained a bullet wound to the abdomen. Reports are that Mr. Spencer was on his way from work around 8:30 when he was approached by one of 3 men who shot him.
The shot that the gunman fired hit his belt buckle. The shot exploded in the bottle and ricocheted and entered and exited the top of his belly. So luckily, thanks to God, no vital organs were damaged. Doctors are saying that if the shot had hit him an inch up or an inch down, it would have probably hit his spine, or it would have basically tore out all of those vital organs.
Mr. Spencer said his father was treated and released from hospital last night. He has also weighed in on the crime situation.
The crime situation, everybody is affected. Nobody is safe anymore. And I believe that in terms of the crime fighting strategy, I hear all sorts of things, and you hear some of these degreed persons and big wigs talking about recommendations for fighting crime. And I don't hear anybody zeroing on the problem. The problem is the amount of guns that are in the hands of some of these illiterate people. Too many guns.
And the St. Elizabeth police have charged 1 man in connection with the death of 31-year-old businessman Leon Griffiths, otherwise called Buju of Lititz. Jordan Dennis was charged after being in possession of a motorcycle which was owned by Mr. Griffith. The body of Griffiths was found in bushes in the community of New Building 3 days after he was reported missing. The police are yet to determine the cause of death or a motive for the killing. Correctional officers are fuming following wage talks yesterday with the Finance Ministry. The Jamaica Federation of Corrections says it was presented with a 6% wage offer which was rejected by other trade unions. Chairman of the Federation, Arlington Turner, described the talks as disappointing, especially against the background of last week's meeting with the Prime Minister and union leaders.
And arising out of what the Prime Minister had said last week, that he will be restarting the negotiation, and that's his word. Today it was very disappointing because nothing has changed in relation to what we have brought to the table and what we are seeking as a union. We are very, very disappointed. Our officers are agitated in relation to what is it, because the government has come back not with a revised offer, but with the same offer that they had came to the table with before.
The Federation is therefore calling for the intervention of Prime Minister Andrew Holness. The Trading Fabrizia, the large ship that was arrested in Jamaican waters, has been sold. The ship was sold at a recent public auction for $10.3 million. Persons from different countries attended the auction, but the ship was sold to those from Germany. The name of the ship has since been changed to Bright Light. Persons said the auction was done at a high standard.
It was on the 9th of January. It was sold at the Jamaica Conference Center. I believe I got a good price for it. It was sold for a bit over the appraised value. Well, far over the appraised value, which was good. I was told that by my broker that he has never been to an auction in his life that was so organized, and he believed that Jamaica could start having auctions like those.
The ship sat in Jamaican waters for 12 months after being seized. Its owners failed to honor obligations to persons for maintenance, fuel and wages to the crew. Under international law, a country can arrest a ship even for a breach that was not committed in its jurisdiction. The man, who had full responsibility for the safety of the ship and its crew, said it was a stressing task and it took a toll on his health.
The sail was the easy part. The hard part was providing funds for food, for fuel, water, and to assist these gentlemen, because they weren't getting any assistance from anybody at all except for me. And at one stage, the captain and crew wanted to abandon ship to go back home. And what I did, I asked them since August 14 to remain on board even if I have to pay them.
The three-member crew left the island yesterday for their respective countries. The government and the country's two major telecommunication companies, Flow and Digicel, met on Wednesday to establish a national alert system. This comes on the heels of calls for Jamaica's disaster alert system to be improved following a tsunami warning for the country after a 7.6 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Honduras earlier this month. Technology Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley said the National Alert System seeks to provide early warning to citizens in the event of a disaster. He said a protocol has also been developed to ensure that the latest technology is used to communicate with citizens. As environmentalists continue to lobby for more protection of the island's coastline, our reporter Krista Campbell highlights the efforts of fisherfolk at one beach in St. Catherine to beautify and protect their environment.
When people didn't see what I'm doing, they thought I was a madman because only madman clean garbage.
Cleveland Black, more popularly known as Ja at the Old Harbor Bay Fishing Beach in St. Catherine, relaying his experience in transforming garbage heaps at the beach into what he now calls a stress-free paradise. He said he started his garbage mission on his 34th birthday in 2007 and to date has turned 6 dump sites on the beach into gardens.
Net and sticks, plant flowers which goat do not eat till I extend it and put long-term crop. I bring them from garbage to paradise, where we used to can't even catch a breath with maggot growing. I bring it to dining hall and kitchen and plantation. I have ackee bearing, it's 11 years I've been doing this. Banana, plum for the children, coconut, flowers.
But he points out it has not been easy, hence the name Stress-Free Paradise.
Where I just clean, they used to throw more garbage. That's why I get from mess. And when I clean the mess, they stress me by throwing more. Well, I still take the stress and take it to the best.
Sir Tanya Beckford, who operates businesses at the Old Harbor Bay Beach, says she's playing her part by ensuring her garbage and those generated by her customers are properly disposed of. But she notes that sometimes there's resistance.
Every morning I come, I rake and I bag my garbage into I walk and I beg and I buy the rice bags. So what I do, we dispose of the garbage.
She says a man called Josie also cleans the beach regularly, but infrequently collected garbage presents a challenge.
They will come out the road, to the after course, because they said they pay to collect their garbage. They pay privately. So what we will do, we will ask one of the guys on the beach to meet the truck there and we dispose of our garbage. Not so long ago, we killed 2 rats and garbage breed rats. Those are things that will cause people not to come.
So me just go get 2 fish, I go roast it, put on my fire. Them are walking in a gold mine like mud out, like a mud pit. Most of those people you see occupy the market, vendors, they out here more than they at their home. Them out from 6 to 6. So if you're not cleaning where you dwell mostly, you're going to have germs in your stomach.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
Following the recent heavy rains, the Health Ministry is encouraging Jamaicans to ensure their surroundings are free of mosquito breeding sites. Principal Medical Officer and National Epidemiologist in the Health Ministry, Dr. Karen Webster Carr, says there is no current outbreak of dengue fever. However, she is urging persons to take the necessary precautions.
This year, so far, we have had 5 cases of dengue reported to the Ministry of Health, with 1 case of dengue hemorrhagic fever or severe dengue. When we look at the figures for dengue, we found that what we are observing currently is in keeping what is usually seen. Therefore, we are not currently having an unusual amount of cases or an outbreak.
Medical entomologist Shireen Huntley-Jones says the ministry will continue to implement strategies to assist in the mosquito eradication process. She also revealed that the ministry has introduced 1,000 temporary workers who were trained in 2016. Mrs. Huntley-Jones adds there's a joint venture between the ministry and the University of the West Indies which will look at the insecticidal resistance to the mosquitoes. This, she notes, will ensure that eradication measures are most effective.
There is insecticidal resistance monitoring. We use insecticides quite a lot in our program, and it's important that as we get into as the rains continue and we may or may not continue to see increase in cases, that the insecticides that we're using are working.
Both ladies were speaking at a think tank session hosted by the Jamaica Information Service on Tuesday. In news overseas, once a world-renowned sports physician treating America's foremost Olympic women gymnast, Larry Nassar, will now spend the rest of his life behind bars. He was sentenced after more than 150 women and girls said in court that he sexually abused them over the past 2 decades. More from the CNN. And in sports, the Reggae Boys are now in Turkey as they prepare for next Tuesday's friendly against South Korea. With a largely based local contingent selected for the game, players will be looking to impress clubs and coaches.
Goalkeeper Amal Knight has been on tour before, but is yet to stand between the sticks for the national senior team. He could again occupy a spot on the timber, but notes it would be a welcome one to cross the white line for the Reggae Boys.
I'm happy for the call-up, didn't expect it, so, God works in mysterious ways, and I'm really happy for it. If I get on the pitch, I'll be thankful for that to get my first cap. That's every player's dream to represent their country, and hopefully I can get that cap.
And although he wasn't eyeing the call-up, Knight says it's a testament to being rewarded for a good season.
That's what Jamaica has been asking for, and the coach has been granting a lot of players the opportunity to represent their country. So I think it's a good opportunity for the local players, and hopefully we can go there and execute as best as possible.
Chevon Messi Marsh has 1 cap for Jamaica, but knows what a good performance against South Korea can do for him.
For me personally, it's really a big game because we're going up against a great competitor, a team that are actually in the World Cup in this 2018 competition in Russia. And for me, as I indicate before, it's a tremendous feeling, and I'm just hoping for the best. Once the opportunity been given, I'm gonna execute and do my ultimate best because I'm representing myself, my family, my country, and I just want to make myself proud.
So there is Messi Marsh, and then there is Malik Messi Foster. That's 2 Messis in 1 team.
Well, it's just a little name. It's just name.
Foster currently plays for Portmore United, but it's an overseas contract that he's eyeing.
I'm looking forward to do great things. Hopefully I can go out there and just give it my all. Wouldn't mind I go out there and score and see what offer I can get.
Boys Town are looking for all the help they can get in their relegation fight. But midfielder Jamil Hardware is looking for a flight to an overseas contract.
This is a great opportunity for me. It's just now for me to go out there and execute, and hopefully I can get a contract out there.
Before playing South Korea, the Reggae Boys will play club team CS Gas Metan Medias on Saturday.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the News, Sports and Production teams, good afternoon.